right, Shalom, Makiam.
Shalom.
We'll start off by giving all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Never understand elder apostles, elder bishops, great minister, well. Peace and blessings, health and wonders, and our David the elect. And we got Hebrew Israelites. Hell, you are the Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
You know, out here to wake up our people. Because one thing we didn't realize, we live in a fucking matrix, man. So we're up here to wake our people up from a sleep, man. All right? Because we're living, we're breathing, we're inhaling, we're exhaling, we're eating, we're sleeping. But guess what? We're blind to a reality that exists.
Yep.
There's a reality that exists that we've been programmed to be blind to. That's why as you go through your day-to-day, your spirit rebels from that reality, but it happens on a subconscious level. When you was growing up, you might have been 14, 15, 16, 17, and you was like, man, something ain't right about this place. It's something. If this is that, then why is this? If this is that way, then why are people like this? Why is the world this way? Why is this? So now we got those answers. The Most High finally woke Neo up, man. All right? You got it, brother.
You got it.
It's Romans chapter 13, verse 11.
The spirit. You can't make it up.
That, knowing the time, that now is high time to wake up out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we
You
believe.
gonna start out with that one? Oh, okay.
Spirit. Wow.
Hey, hey, but
All three of us had that one.
for real?
Yeah.
Hey, knowing that it's time, it is high time to wake out of sleep because we're walking blind people. We were now we're illuminated. That's why wisdom is known as having oil, man. That's why I said wisdom makes a man face to shine. Because it also says in the scripture in Psalm 104, I believe, and oil to make thy face to shine. Might be 103. But oil to make thy face to shine. But wisdom is synonymous with oil, spiritually. All right, but also oil gives fire to a lamp. It gives fuel to a lamp. So what do you do with a lamp? You see in the day, you see at night. You can see through the night.
I got it right here.
All right, you got it, bro.
I'm gonna get you up from. All right. Psalm chapter 104, verse 15. And wine that maketh glad the heart of man. And
Hey, it said wine make it glad the heart of man.
Okay.
Now on the flip side to that, wine is these false philosophies. That's why what? Ignorance is bliss.
they love that Egyptian shit.
Jake loved that Egyptian shit. Jake loved the American dream. It's the Western energy, the Western lifestyle.
yeah.
It's wine. But
They get ready for Easter and shit.
right, wine makes you happy. Ignorance makes you happy. Ignorance is bliss. All right?
And oil to make his face to shine.
And oil to make his face to shine, man. So not only does oil make our face to shine, it illuminates our mind. So we could pierce the veil. We could pierce through the veil. We could see through the night. We know that this place, America, it has bad makeup. You know how the infrastructure is bad, the economy is bad, the family structure is destroyed. All right, there's no fidelity, there's no integrity, there's no morals. All right, this party is against that party. We know that we're the crumbling and the end of an empire, but the facade is that it's not.
Yeah, it's like you got a horse, like she danced herself up with like literal makeup.
Yep.
But then you see, I guess like later on in the day that like she started bleeding.
Yep.
Like that the makeup started coming out. You
Yep.
start to see who she really is.
That's right.
You know?
You know, so now we're seeing that the makeup is coming off of this horse. And we've been catfish. We've been catfish like a motherfucker.
All the filters and shit.
All the filters. All right. Angles, man. Cause big girls know how to get them angles, man.
Yeah, bro.
They know how to position themselves, to hide their stomach, man. So America, she not a baddie no more, man. She showed you her old pictures.
Yeah.
She showed you those pictures was about 20 years ago. You know, fresh out of high school. See, cause I've talked to people through their rideshare from different countries, and I asked them like, what's your thoughts on America? And they basically said America's overrated. They said America knows how to promote itself. So they were implying that this shit is overrated. So that's a woman. A woman know how to promote herself, man. All right. Okay, I'm sorry. You got it.
It's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh shall give thee light.
Awake thou that sleepest and rise from the dead, man. So we were amongst the dead, man. We was immersed in black culture, immersed in American culture. Some brothers about to go to the military, some of us gonna go to college. All right, that's the dead, man. being in love, out heads over heels over a woman, that's the fucking dead, man. All into your religion, all into Cesare Borgia, all into the FRN, was in the dead, man. But now we've awakened. And that is exactly how it is with a woman, man. When you under a woman's spell, it's like your heart is just basically built on her.
Yeah, you dead to your responsibility.
Yeah, you dead to your responsibility, you just focus on her. But it's like when you're away from that spell, you're like, damn, I was tripping on her.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I was like, you see her reality, like I was tripping over that.
Yeah.
And that's Babylon. Like, man, what's going crazy with Babylon, bro? You know?
The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 52, verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem.
Yep. Hey, and now, because it was happening with us in America, this was happening with being in the manosphere. The glory is being transitioned from the woman to the man. So now, like in the manosphere, the gender wars and stuff, now it's Jake saying we finna put ourselves first. We finna have the beauty and the glory. You know what I mean? You know. But now, same thing with us in the spirit. It ain't about Esau, Edom no more. It ain't about the white man's way, the so-called white man's way. Now Israel is what's popping. Now it's about us. Our beautiful garments is our heritage, our culture, man. Knowing your value.
That's right, brother.
Knowing your value.
That's right.
I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. Baruch 2, in the land of their captivity shall they remember themselves. Put on your beautiful garments.
Bro, I'll never forget it, man. It's funny, but like you see the spirit in it. You know, when I was in Chicago, me, Barra, and Lahab, we were taking the train downtown, and basically like, it was this Jake, this older Jake, but he had like a real austere spirit. And this woman, she wanted to sit like right next to him, you know, cause like every once in a while, like the train make a stop so other people can board. But he had his suit laid out like right next to him, and it was a real fly suit. When she was trying to like ask her, like, can I see her? Like, and he looked at her crazy, and he was like, nah, my suit right here. But it's like just the way he put himself first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Jake, Jake gonna learn to put himself first, man. And we would never talk that. Because Jaheim said put that woman first. Now he got an AIDS body. He got that AIDS
Yeah, he looked bad, man.
You know? But hey, I was reading I guess he's a Muslim philosopher, and he had all these quotes about women like men who put women first are foolish, or that's how you ruin your society. It was something to that effect.
Like the man decays.
You decay. When you make your woman your leader. But even furthermore, man, putting this system first, man.
Yep.
Giving your life over to this gynocracy. Go ahead.
This is Job 29:14. I put on righteousness and they clothed me. My judgment was as a robe and they dyed me.
And that's synonymous with Ezekiel 37, where our flesh came on these bones, man. That's 613. Hey, that's equivalent. That's equivalent to coming to America too. When he went and got his son for the Americas, and his son got bridged back to his heritage. Like, this your father, that's your father's father. Joppa. And, you know? You got to say something, bro?
Yeah, because there's part. Because we wake up to Israelites, we wake up to a legacy, you know? So we wake up to the legacy, and that's why you read the Bible. Because before in Christianity, you look at those lineages, and you're like, man, what's this point? Why I got all these lineages?
Yep.
But then when it comes to inheritance, that's extremely important.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, bro.
Now it's important to be from that lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why the scriptures keep repeating that? Because that opens us up to what? The inheritance, which is world dominion. So that lineage, you know, just like you're going to come to America too, he was reattaching him to what? That lineage of fathers. Because that's who he inherited the kingdom from. You know? So if we have been awakened, it's awakened till we have an actual inheritance in the earth.
Yep.
You know?
And that's why Amalek wants to be us so bad, because they want to attach themselves to their heritage.
Yep.
You know, to be in our land.
God.
You know, having rights to that land by pretending to be us.
Right.
Yeah, so back it up. This is Proverbs 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto a woman, nor thy ways that which destroy kings.
And we talked about that yesterday. And that way goes into lifestyle.
Wow.
So that Western way is a way that destroys kings, man. You know, spending all your time and energy dealing with women, living a life of debauchery, living a life of pleasing your flesh, as it says in the scriptures, go down after thy lust, but refrain thyself from thy appetites, man.
And niggas make the same mistakes.
Yep.
Like these rich athletes or entertainers. Once they marry a marked woman, it's over. It's done. If they actually go through the paperwork and marry, it's over. Yeah, all of them make the same goddamn mistake,
Yeah, they keep
man.
doing
Yeah. You know?
Hey, speaking of woman, like it says in can you get it right quick? Ecclesiastes 7:26. All right, and if you look the word in the dictionary, blandishments.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases the Most High shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Now you in the blue letter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the word nets in the blue letter. Yeah. Because you mentioned something that's been on my spirit. It's a spirit. All these celebrity men do the same shit. Even going back to the 90s, you know, the celebrities got married in the 80s and the 90s. All the women, all the wives do the same thing. They divorce them. They divorce them and take half their shit.
Yep.
And you think it's a coincidence it just didn't work out. Well, you can't help but to see their repeating pattern. What you got, bro?
So this that brother, this that word haram. Now it says a net. It says a thing perforated. Now when you go into the Strong's definition, which goes to haram, all right, it says a net, literally or figuratively, usually a doomed object of scraggly extermination. Damn. Things which have been utterly destroyed, utter destruction.
Yep. And that's the end result. And I also want to get you to go down.
Okay, so metaphorically, and this is from the Hebrews Chaldee Lexicon, okay? It says metaphorically, nets are used of the blandishments of women.
Now you get that word blandishments from Bakasha?
Is that word blandishment a flattering or pleasing statement or action used to persuade someone gently to do something?
Hey, read that again louder.
A flattering or pleasing statement or action used to persuade someone gently to do something.
So, but King Solomon said her hearts are snares and nets. All right, nets goes back to haram, which goes back to the blandishments of women. Blandishments goes back to her nature is willing to coax you down and persuade you to do what her will is.
It's crazy, like, bro, getting all this remind you of the garden.
Yeah.
They take you back to the garden, you know?
Yep. And it take me back to Judges, Samson and Delilah.
Samson, yeah.
You know, but that's real. It's real. It's real.
Flattering someone, flattering someone, tell them good things like giving a gift, a gift destroys the heart.
And that gift when it comes to a woman is flattering your ego. You know, because if she gets you to do what she wants you to do, then in return she flatters your ego, man. And a woman know how to coax you down, man. And I'm bringing this out because we're learning everything over again. Because like we're being educated now.
She's pretty much a weapon. Like she's a, because brother, one of the first definitions you read, she's a doomed object.
But if you go to Judges, I believe that's the 14th chapter or the 17th chapter, what happened was the Philistines used Delilah as a weapon against Samson. Because first they told her, do this to her and ask her what's his secret. And then when he finally did it, she went back to him and disappeared. And like, yeah, the first female after you, Samson.
She kept saying this.
But a woman is a weapon. All right?
This is the book of Proverbs 26 and 28. A lying tongue hated those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
A flattering mouth worketh ruin because it de-arms you.
Yep.
It de-arms you, man. And like I said, I wouldn't even plan on going this direction in the spirit, but the spirit just took us there. Hey, it de-arms you, man. Because when you wake up to your nationality and you learn everything over again, now you gotta learn how your enemy works, man. Because it ain't the people that you are already skeptical of, it's the people who had the power to de-arm you, man. You know?
And then it says, a a lying tongue hated those that are afflicted by it. Because Eve, like the majority of Eve, they do this from a place of hate. Like there's a deep hatred rooted in Eve, you know, for the man in this society, going back to the curse, man, that evil eye, you know, and that's why I say when you wake up to it, you just know how to maneuver. You know, you just learn how to maneuver and recognize the shit, man. You know?
And it's heavy. It's called gynocracy. This gyno goes back to, I believe, vagina or something like that. We have a gynecologist. But we live in a gynocracy, so everything is out the vibration in the will of a woman. So women, and there's also in the book, The Rational Male, it's called the female imperative. The female imperative is basically your life is sacrificed for her will. Like her happy life, happy wife, that's part of that female imperative. All right, so we live in a gynocracy, all right, an empire, which everything is basically bent to the will of a woman. So basically, she's existing as a she is. She's existing as a Yahweh, man. Because everything bends to her will.
The Queen of Heaven vibration.
It's the Queen of Heaven vibration. All right?
Yeah, it's Proverbs 29:5. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet.
We just read that, but it was dealing with a woman at first.
A net, but hey, same shit. Because a friend that can betray you is the same shit. Somebody's about to betray you or whatever. That's part of their energy, man. It's part of their tactic.
Just like Judas came to your house shot.
Spirit, bro.
He came with a kiss.
Yup.
He said, Master. That
Yup.
friend wouldn't say. He said, Master or friend.
And he kissed him, you know.
Yeah, he kissed him.
Yeah, I was trying to say, betrayed you with a kiss. You know?
Yep.
Damn.
So, but part of waking up and being woke is just that. You seeing reality for what it is. You see how people are for what they are, man. We're no, because what they say, ignorance is bliss. And what I've learned in this truth, man, the Most High will traumatize you with reality. He'll shock you. Because what he's doing, he's killing that child inside you. That happy child, that naive child.
Because kids don't want to see reality.
Kids don't want to see reality.
Fun land.
They want to see the fun land. And it's like lightning striking. It's like lightning striking.
Because once you get certain experiences, you can never go back.
Nope.
You know, because most, like I said, most high intentionally traumatize you in the era to build you a certain type of way.
And that's how you evolve.
Yeah.
That's how you unfold as a person and you develop as a person, man, through those experiences, man.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind, forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman.
Oh, and the reason why I was mentioning those celebrities, because that was the plan from the get-go. That was the plan from the get-go. Like, okay, I'm like Dr. Dre's wife and certain wives that been with their man over 20 years. They came in with a plan. Because the scripture says her heart is snares and nets. Her heart goes back to mine. That means you got with this man, and from the beginning, your mama and your auntie, they all had a game plan for your success.
Yep.
Like raise his family, have his kids, you know he gonna fuck other women, put on his shit. But when them kids leave, go on cash out. Play white, play house.
And that's something like, because it's a long-term agenda.
It's
That's a hell of an investment, man.
Cause I was thinking like, we can't fathom as men doing something like this.
That's some evil ass shit.
We can't be with somebody 20 years with the agenda. I'm a flip on you in 20-some years.
It's going back to that serpent.
It's a serpent. Because a woman, I not speak as a man, and the brothers, I just want brothers' input, but I think a woman, her energy is that of a serpent.
Yeah.
It's like a scorpion. Because a serpent can be with you. Because like I said, it was a guy or a person, they had a pet python. And every night the python would lay next to the owner. But the python would always stretch out. And I think he asked like a veterinarian, like, why does my python always stretch out when it lay next to me? He said it sizes you up. It's waiting for the moment where it's big enough to actually swallow you.
Wow.
So I believe through the spirit, I've been praying to stay in the spirit to see if what it is. A woman's her energy is that of a serpent, man. It's not. You can say men are dogs, but shit, that's a compliment, you know. But
Yeah, but for that to be worded, how all wickedness but little to the wickedness of a woman, there has to be certain wickedness in her mind that we can't fathom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's things like you would never see yourself doing that type of shit, but they'll do it.
And I've been reading that in different translations and shit. Like I've been going to different translations, man. Like what does this translation say? What does this translation say? Oh, you gotta get that scripture about to maintain a husband, you know? But one of the translations say like the anger of a woman, like how she gets that vindication when she's angry. Like she gets somebody to shoot you.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a woman, Jake might have a woman, he might be in a dope game or something, and she find out he's sleeping with another woman, she'll get his enemies to shoot his car while he in it. Like shit like that.
She go fed on.
She go fed on him. Or even just the back door, like he think you know the baby thing, man.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about the reason why it's like a snake, it ain't no feelings behind that shit.
Nah.
It ain't no feelings behind that shit. The niggas, but yeah, you got it, brother.
I just got that word light in the Edamon line. Now you said the scripture say give not thyself over to a light woman. All right, light. It says not heavy, having little actual weight. Now, also that's how they measure value through weight. You know, the light woman, she has light value. But to go into it some more, it says meaning frivolous, that of unchaste, both from the notion of lacking moral gravity.
Ooh, a bimbo. That word is synonymous with bimbo. Light, lacking moral gravity, frivolous, lacking. Because what happens is, what do women do when they single? What do they do when they young? They monkey branch. They talk to this dude, that dude, this dude, that dude. They don't take it out and then they ghost them, flake them. You know, it's like a game to them. They go out, party, girls night out. It's like a fucking child, man.
Yeah. And how you know they through? It was basically you would hear older women talking about that shit. Like you'll be around certain older women and they'll be like, well, look at these little young girls how they dress, and if something happens to them, they're gonna be crying.
They do.
You know, look, you dress like that, you expect men to treat you a certain way. Like you hear older women talking about that, you know?
You do, and they be like, they basically causing their own effect.
Yeah, like you end up missing with shit. Well, you went out the house like that, dressed like that.
And it says the notion goes into being having unimportance. It says women of easy virtue, or what they call light skirts. You know, what's that thought culture, man? Yeah, a light woman, like a woman that she can fit the function and structure inside of a man with structure. Like you can't get a light woman to be an asset to a man that has structure. You see, the light woman, like the brother said, is only for this fun night. You know, Friday, Saturday, party shit. That's why you only have that hour, 30 minutes, and that's it. After that, they become valuable. Like you say, what you say, posting up clarity. You know,
Right.
After you get your rocks off, you know, you don't see nothing else besides that. That's why, you know, you have this, what you call it, casual date culture. You know.
Yep. Yeah, you red pill when you ejaculate.
Yep.
All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach.
So I got that scripture in a different translation. It's called the CEBA translation. And it says, there will be anger, shamelessness, and utter disgrace when a wife provides for her husband. So, and I didn't know it meant that. It said a woman maintain her husband, and it says the Good News translation, it says, Sirach 25 and 22. When a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation. So, based on those translations, if you bring it over to this society, hey, you know, if the woman's in control, hey, you're not a man. You totally emasculated, man. So, because if you look at certain translations, it has the title of the particular chapter, and the title is called like Advice on Women. So Sirach 25, that's the chapter of Advice on Women.
And it's the spirit of the apostles, like they've been pushing for years. The brothers, like if you know, got a woman, every situation varies, but if you can have your own place.
Yep.
Because like if a woman, like she'll flip on you and shit like that.
She'll flip, man. So, and what I've learned, part of your passion to manhood is having your own little cubby hole.
Anyway,
Man, no matter how it work out, you know, just have your own little cubby hole, man. But just showing you, hey, it says if a woman, and she supports her husband. And another translation says that she provides for her husband. Basically, there's no respect for him.
They say like she's in control.
She's in control, man, and that's against our forefathers, man. You know. See, the Most High is reclaiming our manhood. We reclaiming our manhood, and it ain't just about putting garments on and teaching. And we really becoming men and embracing and embodying what it means to be a man. All right?
It's Isaiah 13 and 11, because going back to that precept, showing you that pretty much that's why Jacob trouble is going to be a solution to a lot of mindsets that dominate the earth. That's right. You know, either you're going to get put, see, Jacob trouble, either you're going to get put to death, or your mind going to be converted, and you're going to humble down. You know? This is Isaiah 13 and 11. It says, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
Yeah, it's a reality check. You know, because now we're in a system, you know, this modern society where you can't tell people anything, especially the modern woman. You know, because she's been deified. You know what I'm saying? But, and well, what's that? Is it the second chapter? But says how the hardness of men shall be brought low. But you know, you can throw women in there too. They say the Lord alone won't be exalted in this time, man. Because it's gonna be death that's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Like brother said, these severe judgments, because those guys that live, hey, you gonna see it. Like brother said, you gonna get right. But for a lot of people, that's just gonna, hey, that's gonna get them right. That's gonna solve the problem for them. You know, you got it.
It says, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
Lay low the hardness of the terrible is eat them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, right now he thinks that, you know, that he is. You know, that those two mindsets, these two categories, Salaki, these two people, social groups, Edom and the woman, that's mainly who's gonna be checked in these last days, man. You know, along with, you know, 2/3 of our people, and then you got these heathens. But, you know, the serpent and Eve, they the main ones that gotta get it, man.
Yep.
You know, because they're responsible for a lot of this that's going on right now.
Yeah, like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Just on a tour of doing criminal shit. You know?
You see how they get.
Right. Right.
Damn.
That's right.
Isaiah 13 and 12 is, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of oak fir.
Which is why you will have Isaiah 4. But the spirit been on, brothers. The Lord doing something in the earth with his men, bro. You know? Because as brothers have been saying, you know, for the last few years, I've been hearing a lot. Isaiah 4 is not a rap video. It's not a porn, you know, porn video. It ain't none of that shit. Isaiah 4, that's reality. The Lord really shining light on who he dealing with in the earth. You know? And brothers gonna have their options, and they're not gonna care how fine you are. You know what I'm saying? How you know, fat your ass is. You know, BBWs and all that. The Brazilian, but look, because ain't gonna want no fake ass, you know, woman. It's gonna be how you can be an asset to me, because women in that day really gonna be viewed for what they are, and the majority, to be honest, they are liabilities, man. You know?
So the Lord really, like those women that the Lord gonna be having mercy on through brothers, is women that's already kind of being conditioned towards that way.
Yeah.
You know? Because these women so far gone, it's gonna be hard for the modern nigga woman to snap into it. You know, because we brothers ain't gonna have time to try to mold you, go through the precepts with you, and then try to show you who you are. Nah, it's gonna be women that's already in motion. You know?
Because the program gotta get, like, we had a program to get destroyed inside our minds.
Yep.
So she had to get a program destroyed inside of her mind, and it's gonna happen when she's in a state of fear.
Yep.
Survival mode gonna put her right back in her feminine.
Yep.
They got
Snap
yep.
them into
We're gonna snap
the
into
one
it.
that's, like I say, you in motion, because even the women that listen, you know, and believe, they still got little shit in them.
Yep.
But that Jacob Trump gonna get that little bullshit out of them.
Yeah, bro.
Ready, they go, okay, yeah.
But like you said, 99% of our women ain't gonna make it now.
No.
A body?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because right now their body has an enchantment on it.
Yep.
So you see, like, damn.
Yep.
But when it's time for the nation building, fuck.
But then, like we was in the restaurant, you know, you look at a world map or a globe, you know, a globe of the earth. You look at how big America is as opposed to the whole earth.
Yep.
America is a small percentage of the planet, bro.
Brazil, the country of Brazil is 2/3 the size of America. America promoted itself as like being a centerpiece of existence. Now you got countries within the continent that's almost the size of the continent. It's almost the size of the continent America.
They got Americans only responsible for 5% of the world's population. So within that, you might have 1%, and that's rounding up. 1% of the world of the women's population is in America. They only account for like 1%, the American woman. But like you say, she know how to project the American woman, and media knows how to project them as if they the dominant. But nah, you only account for 1% of the world's population.
And that's why they don't want you to travel.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to understand your sexual market value. Because if you travel and then you put the woman, American woman, in context of other women, her sexual market value is going to plummet. It's going to. And that's our biggest fear, is that you be in the world of your options.
Yep.
That's when it comes to the nigga man, the Israelite man, her biggest fear is that y'all know we being gaslighted, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, you ain't shit, you're gonna never be shit, but don't go nowhere else.
Yeah.
We being gaslighted, you know what I mean?
Don't leave the plantation.
Don't leave the plantation.
I got the Isaiah 4:1. I want to be in the NLT too. It's Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. I'm reading NLT. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, saying, let us marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we don't be mocked as old maids.
Wow, brother.
Because women, when they see and you always going to legacy, a woman who can attach herself to your legacy, and that's free access right there to the kingdom, man.
Yeah. And it's spiritual, because a similar thing that happened over there in the land of Ham. You have the country Ethiopia, and I want to say Eritrea. Basically, they had a war, and there was few men left, you know, during the aftermath of that war. So they made a law. I want to say in Eritrea, which is a lot of Jake over there, by the way. I want to say what's your boy name? Nipsey Hussle. I think he was Eritrea. But there's a lot of Jake over there. For those of y'all that think that, you know, he was a Hamite, like, nah, Jake is over there in Eritrea. But anyway, I want to say they made a law in Eritrea to each man he had to have at least 2 women by law. You know, for him to marry. But it's showing you it's spiritual. See, the Lord will do something similar, man. You know?
Yeah, because every time you watch polygamy videos, they go into that account. Because polygamy is an excellent nation rebuilder.
Yeah.
It's a post-war tactic to rebuild your nation as quickly as possible.
I want to say Benji did that. You know, Child Benjamin.
Yep.
You know?
So, and going to show you in America, man, it's going to be an emergency. Like you said, it ain't got nothing to do with sex.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody gonna go back into their purpose, you know. And then it's a shame for one. See, the America boasting being a single woman, you know, that thought culture, that's boastful. You see, yeah. But see, in the ancient world, there was a shame. If you was an unmarried woman, there would be an extreme shame put on you. So that's why the women will be like, take away that shame from us and let us be a wife.
Yeah, all my single ladies.
Yeah. See, that shit there, that's that new age shit, man. You know, but that's chaos gonna take away all this shit. And just like you said, this is post, because the Lord, the slaying of the Lord gonna be from one end of the earth to the other.
Yeah, brother.
Okay? So it's gonna be, like I say, emergency things put in place, man. Now this is Isaiah 60 and 22. It says, a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in its time. You know? So the mindset that we have now, because we in America, to where we was brought up deifying women, you know? So you put so much energy and so much emphasis into one woman, not but like, nah, she's, all right, revolves around you, and she's gonna be one of many. Like, that's the mindset that the Lord is conditioning brothers to think of one of many, and then we know the purpose, what they're for is for nation building and nourishing your legacy, man.
Brother,
You know?
please let me read this guy, bro. I was shocked. Because, hey, we in the time, as the beloved apostle been saying, beginning with Apostle Tahar, we in the time of the prophecies in 2 Ezra 15 and 2 Ezra 16. You know, Jacob's trouble. You know, it's how you're going to have Isaiah 4:1 take place. But this is 2 Ezra in the Apocrypha chapter 16 and beginning at verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escaped the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, see, when Jacob's trouble really hit, you see, Esau, all right, he's coming with war strategy. And when you're in war strategy, the first thing you do is what? You kill the adult males. Okay? And that's the power of a nation is adult males. Okay? So you know it's going to be a lot of targeted attacks on the males of Jacob, man. You know? Women going to be getting to work too. But when you go into war, you can go deal with the males first, and then you can pretty much have your way with the women.
Yeah, but you know, oh, sorry.
You got it, bro.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, that was it.
So, I believe Eve, they up on the race wars. I saw somebody do this online, and it was like it's certain little group chats where they have like a contingency plan in case there's a war. And I believe that particular group was Eve. I could be wrong, but they already got their mind made up that they already got an agreement to do in the event of a race war, they're going to offer up their sons to be murdered to comply with the winner.
Eve ain't worth a damn.
Yeah, so the women have already come amongst. They didn't name the group, but I believe it's Eve.
Yeah, it gotta be.
Who else? Yeah, like, yeah, we kill our sons anyway.
Yeah.
So in the event of a race war, the contingency plan or the safety plan, well, you might get around us. We will give up our sons and of course align ourselves with them.
Yeah,
Hey, what's going on, man?
Sorry.
Oh no, you good?
Sorry.
No, you good.
All right. Read verse 23.
Yeah.
All right. Say Exodus 15 and 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
Hey, women love comfort. That's their thing. You know how a cat, you get a cat, and it's always in a comfortable place. You know, it's their nature, man. They're not gonna have it then.
Jump down to verse 26. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men.
Yep, desolate of men. Okay, because a lot of these nations, you're gonna have to draft. A lot of these men are gonna be drafted, and see, this war is gonna kill men quick. All right, because this war is gonna be a war of missiles. Okay, even before it get nuclear, you still gonna have them surface missiles. Okay, you still gonna have a lot of airstrikes. Okay, it's gonna be killing men by the tens of thousands, man. Probably a day.
And the proof is, and you always go into this through the spirit, it's happening now.
Yep.
Like that shows you Americans, you Babylonians, you live in an alternate reality in your mind. That shows this place, this is that matrix, man. Babylon the Great. What people, they're not in tune with what's going on the earth. Here it is, this airstrikes happening right now as we doing this live stream in the Middle East.
Yep.
And people just walk on, in their daily life here, man.
It's gonna intensify, and a lot of American men are gonna be getting deployed over there, man. And then they get to the point they gonna send some women, okay? But in wars, men die rapidly, man. All right, that's what happened in what happened with Germany. All right, when they men went to war, okay? Guess what? The Russians invaded, all right, and it was just the women there, so those Russian soldiers was gang banging those women, and they said they was raping everything from 10 to 78. Yeah. The hospital was full of women that was pregnant from the Russian soldiers, man. And some of them being raped to death. Some of them being raped 70 times in a day. That's what happened. That's what go down when war. See, you American women, oh boy.
And that wasn't even Jacob's trouble.
Nah, the time gonna be worse than that.
And then Eve has already promoted herself as a piece of ass.
Yep.
It's over with,
It
man.
might be bad, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I say what's that? Zechariah 14.
Woo.
Yeah, just a little bit more, bro. All right, jumping down to verse, I'm reading 33 and 34. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers.
Yep, because like I say, the men are going to be the first, all right, sect of society that's going to die out rapidly, man. Okay? Because men are going to be put in these scenarios. They're going to die trying to defend their family. They're going to die being shipped to the war. They're going to die, okay? Why, man? You see? Because in any society, the man is always the first line of defense. And see, you women that have been, I don't need no man, well, that's going to be a real reality. It's not going to be any men like that, okay? The Most High know how to make a statement. With these little philosophies, like when you go into how the Lord was plaguing ancient Egypt, he was He was mocking all the guys in Egypt.
Yeah.
Because they had the guy with, you know, they had the frog head, or the guy that had a head like a beetle, like an insect. Okay, they worshiped the Nile River. The Lord started plaguing those things to mock Pharaoh. So all these philosophies that you women boast in and say this and independent and strong and we don't need, niggas ain't shit. Well, the Most High is going to make that a reality. He's going to make a mockery of your ideology, man.
Yeah, and women thinking they stronger than men.
Yeah.
Let's see how that whole Tomb Raider, G.I. Jane type spirit kick in. You know,
Yeah.
you know, because the average man, a weekly man, is gonna be out here whooping women too.
Because the African American black woman, I'm saying that facetiously, but Eve, your only defense mechanism is your voice.
Yeah.
Once you get past that loud voice,
Yeah.
then you'll see there's a scary woman behind it. That's our wizard, like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
He had that projection.
Yeah.
You get past that nigga woman aggression,
Yeah.
and it's a weak little girl, man.
Yeah, Eve out here with guns. Hey, me ain't gonna be taking your guns from you.
Yeah.
You ain't got, you're not gonna be, this ain't Grand Theft Auto. You're gonna have an unlimited supply of ammo. All right, once you shoot that little clip out that 38,
Yeah.
okay, you done.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then Jacob finesse her.
Yeah.
While you shooting at that nigga, another nigga will come behind you, man. Jake, you must forgot he's a supplanter.
Yeah.
You know? While you shoot at that running nigga, another nigga gon'
Yeah.
you know how Jake do.
Last verse, bro. It says this point for you. In the wars shall the bridegrooms be destroyed.
In the wars. So you're gonna have race wars, you're gonna have class wars, and you're gonna have world war. Okay? Men, the population of men is gonna decrease extremely quick, man. All right, and the Lord is doing that because He's getting the earth ready for His sons, man. The Lord said He's gonna hasten it in that day. The little ones shall become 1,000 shall become, all right, a strong nation, man. Okay, because a lot of these, even these foreign Ishmaels, gonna be a lot of Ishmaelites put to death. It's gonna be a lot of Moabite men put to death. A lot of Ammonite, so-called Japanese men put to death. Okay, a lot of these other heathens men are gonna be put to death in this war, and that's going to open up. All right, for us to come down and have our way out here, man.
That's right, brother.
We come out them chairs, we coming out here to have our way out. That's why I say, brother, you gonna get the best of the best. You can really get America out your mind. Like the American woman, like with the Lord, whatever the Lord add to you here, whatever it might be, that's gonna be just a little extra. But the real play gonna be coming out them chariots.
That's right, brother.
When them heathen men, the remainder of them gonna go into captivity, and we're gonna have the best of, we're gonna have our choice of the best, man. Okay?
That's right. That says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
Yep. Because there's a lot of times, that's another thing, that war creates famine too. You know, mass famine. You got that's Zechariah.
This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 2.
Yep.
For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to
Yep.
battle.
And see, that's those UN troops, man. All right, Jacob's trouble. All right, because there's a council amongst these nations. All right, to try to diminish these people, because this is what's in the way of Esau's New World Order. And see, going back to that movie John Wick 4, the guy that it had the marquee, and the marquee was pretty much like because you had the table. The table was like the elites. They ran everything. Mm-hmm. And then you had the marquee, and the marquee was like the military branch of the tables. And when somebody brought up John Wick, he was like, it's bigger than John Wick. We gotta destroy anything that the idea of John Wick has touched. Okay? So you being an Israelite man, you represent the idea of Yahushua. Okay? So when them troops come, they got the orders to kill anything on the tribe, man, anything on the chart. Okay? So when them troops roll, all right, they gonna have specific, of course you're gonna have these different militias. They gonna run through them. Okay, but just remember, it's Jacob's trouble. The Lord named it there for a reason. Okay? You the play. You see? Go ahead.
And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled,
Yep.
and the women ravished.
And the women ravished. Okay? The houses taken and rifled means plundered, and the women ravished. You kill off the men, and then you have your way, all right, with the women. And that's ancient warfare. Okay, we did it. When we would take over, when we was coming into power, okay, when we was going into the land of Canaan, all right, we will plunder nations and take the women.
Like I say something, bro. And going back to what the Spirit been saying, it's a reality check for Eve, because these ain't gonna be no women that you gonna want to lay with either. Like, these gonna be some of the worst, dirtiest, stinkingest men. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got Edomites and other heathen, but they putting they ride on you. They all souped up on drugs. They gonna be smacking the shit out of you. They gonna be fucking you up. Like, what you have these different other groups, like how they want to throw labels on us and stigmas on us and saying that we, taking women and all this. Like, nah, and they gonna pay for saying that shit too.
Yeah.
The Lord really gonna do that to Jake, but he gonna use E to play it out.
Yeah.
The idea of raping those. Well, they gonna show you.
Yeah, because you had what that little chick that said hide your 9-year-old daughter from Gina Benson. Okay? Well, wait till UN troops come. Okay? You wait till they touch down. And then we're gonna see who you should have been preparing to hide from. Okay? Because they gonna kill, because these niggas, and then these new age niggas, these new street niggas ain't tough. Like them older, from the 90s, the naughty by nature, them niggas, them niggas was actually, some brawling niggas, but these little tight pants wearing niggas ain't tough, man.
Yeah. And
Okay?
it's sad. We in some sick times, like, cause see, he is a sodomite. They gonna be raping them men too, bro. Jake out here all metro, long ass dreads, and like, nigga, you like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be taking guys like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
You got it, bro.
And half of the city shall go forth into captivity,
Concentration camps, torture camps, go ahead.
and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
And that's the remnant. You see, we want to be part of their residue, their remnant, okay? That the Lord is going to preserve doing all this, man. But people don't have an idea of how bad it's going to get. And see, this modern woman, like we all talk about the style clash. This modern society is about the clash with ancient world society. It's going to be a clash.
Yeah, bro.
Shit going to get real quick. Ain't going to be no more dating culture. Ain't going to be no more spitting game, asking for a number, all right? None of that shit. Okay? Ain't gonna be no cash out, none of that shit. Men just gonna take what they want out here, man.
Yep.
Okay?
It's your possession in the first place.
Yep.
Ancient world, baby.
Yep.
You want me to find the scriptures?
Okay. That was it on that.
Yeah,
I think that.
want something else?
Yeah, let's get that account. This is a show we did that, the end on that account. I think it's in Numbers 30. Look for 33. And that's just this ancient world tactics, man. Because when you conquer a nation, that means you want to expand your empire. And to expand your empire, you need to multiply. Okay? So what would you do? The woman, okay, was a tool that you will use to multiply. All right? And they had that in Deuteronomy 22 and 10. Get that in the law, and then we'll get the actual count in that law.
Yeah, I got you here, bro.
Get that Deuteronomy 22 and 10.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 10. Thou shalt not plow with an
Laws of war. Might be 20. Okay, yo. Get Deuteronomy 20 and 10, 20 and 10.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 10. When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it, and it shall be, if it make the answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee.
Yep, so if they complete, they would just become tributaries. All right, go ahead.
And they shall serve thee.
Go ahead.
And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it.
Yep.
And when the Lord thy power hath delivered it into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
Thou shalt smite every male with the edge of the sword. Okay? Because what did that do? That would stop that nation from being able to reproduce itself, all right, in the earth. Because the nation gonna want revenge. It's natural. So if you conquered in war, you would smite the males, all right, and then you would do what? Go ahead.
But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even the spoils thereof shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy power hath given thee.
Yeah, so you would take the women, because now you can multiply yourself more in the land. And then you will take the little ones and put them in captivity and train them up in your way. Okay? Then that's what the Romans did. Okay? That's why you had a lot of Jakes that were trained in the Roman way, in the Greekish way, the Greekish fashion. Okay? When they killed off the males, they would take the little ones and pretty much re-educate them. Okay? And they would take the women and spoil to what? To afford, all right, that nation in the earth, man. Okay? So that's it. You get that account.
Numbers chapter 31, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying,
Yep.
Avenge the sons of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people.
Yep.
And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge Yahweh of Midian.
Yeah, go ahead.
And of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and ye send to the war.
Go ahead.
Shall you send to the war?
Yep.
So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites as Yahweh commanded
As
Moses.
who commanded them?
As Yahweh commanded Moses.
See, Christianity didn't teach you about this guy, man. This society didn't teach you about this guy. This is our father.
Yeah, bro.
You see? This is how he get down, man. And see, we coming back in their energy, man. That's why this Western shit, it ain't wrestling no more, man. That's why we ain't excited by this shit no more. Nah, we ready for this. Okay, go ahead.
And they warred against the Midianites.
And they warred against the Midianites. Go ahead.
As Yahweh commanded Moses, and they slew all the males.
They slew all the males. That's what you do as a conquering nation. You slay the males, okay? And the women will be preserved to bring forth and multiply your seed, because you was going to need more. You was going to need more heirs because you just conquered more land. Okay? This westernized way of Republican and Democrat and liberal, because no, this what's finna be happening in the earth, man. Back to ancient world, man. Okay, go ahead.
All right, two more. It says, and they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rechem and Zur and Hur and Reba, 5 kings of Midian.
Yep.
Balaam also the son of Beor they slew with the sword.
Yeah, so that nigga died who had them visions and numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
23 and 24.
Yeah.
Put that nigga to death. Okay, go ahead.
Right. But the Lord sent him a vision.
Yeah, he saw that vision.
I want to even saw that coming.
Go ahead.
All right, it says, verse 9. And the sons of Israel took all the women of Midian,
Took all the women of Midian. Go ahead.
captives,
Captives. Go ahead.
and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle.
And that's what's coming back to the earth, man. Ancient warfare rules, man. Ancient warfare tactics, man. Okay, this modern shit, this little cute shit, this metaverse shit, nah. It's finna get down in the earth, man. All right? And this modern society, all right, has people ill-equipped for the harshness of the times to come, man. You got it.
And with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Well. Peace and blessings. Have the word to the house of David the elect. Baba Baba.
Baba Baba.
Come here, shout.
Come here, shout.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Wow. Wow. Shalom. Shalom.